I feel like a special connection with Greece.
I find the mythology part really interesting.
Medusa, let's go for dinner. And I'm like, excuse me, it's almost breakfast for me, you know?
How does the dating life differ between Greece and Italy?
Like at my age, you're expected to be married.
Ragomelo or limoncello?
No! Why you do this to me? Like Malakias.
Malagas.
Welcome to the first episode of Expat Experts Season 2. Today, we are kicking things off with a very special guest, my good friend Chiara Tonello. Originally from Genova, Italy, Chiara moved to Athens, Greece a few years ago, driven by her love for discovering new cultures and her passion for Greek mythology. In this episode, we'll dive into her journey as a foreigner in Greece, the challenges she faced, and how she embraced and integrated into the Greek culture. So sit back, relax, and let's explore this expat experience together.
Welcome everyone to this new episode of Expat Experts. Very happy to start the season 2 finally, and with a little bit of surprise. Actually, it's the first time that we do recording with audience, so there is people around. So if you if you hear weird noises, are these people around us that are doing strange things. But on top of that, exactly that. But on top of that, we changed the whole structure of the episode, so you will see new things, new sections inside of it. And of course, I'm really happy to have Chiara here with me as the first guest of the season. Welcome.
I am honored to be here as your first guest.
Very happy to have you as a first guest of season 2.
Perfect.
We've been trying to do this episode for quite some time now, so
yeah,
kind of
that's true. That's true.
But yeah, I would say that without further ado, we could directly jump a little bit into your background and story as an expat. You're originally from Genova in Italy.
Yes, exactly. And I moved here about 5 years and a half ago, I would say. Yeah. It was March 2019, just before COVID.
Perfect.
1 year before. Actually, since I was a kid, I always loved Greece. And I loved Greek mythology. That was a passion of mine since I was a kid. I was actually obsessed, like it was an obsession. So I came here as a tourist in 2016, and I fell in love with the city, honestly. Like I think Athens, it's one of my favorite cities in the world. And I thought, well, maybe I should move here. Why not? But it took me a long time to be ready and actually move. Yeah.
We also have the normal audience, which is the cats, making noises in the background. How was your life in Italy? I mean, at that point of time, it was also closing with some episode in Italy to say, okay, I leave everything and I go
That's true.
to a new country, or?
So, so plan A in my life was to become like a mythologist, but it doesn't really exist as a profession. Yeah. So that's why I joined the Navy. Really logical decision.
I see.
I worked in the Italian Navy, in the Coast Guard, actually, for about 9 years. And I was traveling around a lot. And that's how I ended up here in Greece. And after 2016, I started to come more often. I started to have some friends here to make connection. And I already planned what I was going to do here. And so finally, I quit my job and I moved. That was funny when I had to tell my father that I had to quit my good paid and stable job in Italy to move to Greece.
Without job?
Without a job, with some plans, but without like any stable job. And so, that was fun.
I can imagine. So you've been now 6 years, nearly 6 years.
We can say like that. Yeah.
In Greece?
Yeah.
Do you remember the first experience when you arrived here I mean, you said that you know a little bit and you started to have friends here, but it's different when you come as a
Yeah.
tourist and you see the city a little bit like, oh, whatever, but living
Yeah.
here and being here permanently.
Yeah, I remember I was sitting in a coffee shop with a friend of mine and we were looking for an apartment because I came here, didn't even have an apartment. Like I was staying at friends. And so, I found my first, place. I went to see it and said, okay, I'm going to get this place. I don't care. It was here in Pagrati, actually. And I moved there and was very happy. Yes, I found my house and it was great. Yeah.
There was any moment that you say, okay, why did I take this decision? Why am I here? Why I quit my job and left everything to go to a new country, new language, new everything?
To be honest, not really, because from the very beginning, I always felt like home here. I feel like a special connection with Greece. And yeah, it's been, of course, it's not been like an easy journey, because to move in a country where you don't speak the language, and especially the language is so difficult to learn. I mean, let's talk about it. It's really difficult. And the culture, okay, I'm Italian, I'm Mediterranean, so it's similar, but still there are differences, I feel. So need some time to adjust to the new life. But it's been nice.
What's the biggest differences that you would say between, I suppose you're meaning more like in the sense of how people live their lives,
like lifestyle. I would say one thing that I struggled the most was the schedule for meals. Now I would say the most Italian things in the world. So, food in Italy is important. It's like the base of the society. It's like food and looks. That's it. And maybe football. Okay, so in Italy, you need to have like lunch and dinner with your family. Like that's what you do. And there are like specific times during the day where you are allowed to have lunch, let's say, like from 12 till 2. It's a good time frame for lunch. And then dinner from 7:30 till 9, I would say it's acceptable. But no later than that. Like if it's 4 p.m. and I'm hungry, I wait for dinner. Here, it's total anarchy.
Yeah.
Like people eat whenever they're hungry, not when it's time to eat. And for me at the beginning, it was like a big problem, because all my life I'm used to eat a certain time and all my schedule of the day, evolves around that. But here friends would call me like at 4 p.m. Let's go for lunch. I'm like, what?
Too late.
Or like 11 p.m. Let's go for dinner. And I'm like, excuse me, it's almost breakfast for me, That's crazy. So that was it needed some adjustment. Yeah.
What about the city itself? You came directly here to Athens?
Yeah, I came directly here to Athens. I have to say that I like the fact that, okay, you can walk anywhere. So I don't use a car. I use, sometimes the metro, the buses, but I mostly walk around, and it's a very walkable city. That's what I really like about that. You're laughing. Why?
I'm laughing because half of the streets are destroyed, but it depends on what you consider walkable. But
yeah, maybe because my city, Genova, it's really uphill. So it's here it's still uphill, but better, definitely. Another thing that I like about Athens, that I feel social life is really like lively. There is always a lot of things to do. And I like that you can just call your friend and hang out and get a coffee and stay for hours outside, because people like to stay outside a lot here. Yeah,
makes sense. You arrive here without a job, without an apartment, without anything, but you said you had a plan or some plans.
Yeah.
What were those plans?
So one is because of I've been passionate about Greek mythology since I was a kid. I thought about starting like a storytelling experience about Greek mythology in Athens. And so that's what I started to do. And also I'm a teacher, so I teach Italian online. So that's, I combine the two different things. Yes.
So that's the jobs that you traded from the Navy
For the Navy, yes.
That your dad is not that happy about it, no?
Yeah.
Okay, I see. I mean, I find the mythology part really interesting, and I think it's something that it's very specific in that sense. It was one of the big triggers for you to come here.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Did you learn a lot while being here? Like, it's something that really changed your perspective on mythology, or
I would say that I knew a lot before coming, because so my passion started when I was like 10 years old, and I read this book. It's by an Italian author, so that wrote a book for like teenagers, and it's like in the form of a diary written by a goddess, Hebe, the goddess of immortal youth, and she's the daughter of Zeus and Hera. And she tells all the story by her perspective, you know, like a teenager. So it's very appealing for teenagers. And for some reasons, I really love this book. And I was very fascinated by all the stories. And I started to read more. And in Italy, we have like a special school where you can go, you can study classics.
Okay.
So that's what I did. I studied like ancient Greek, Latin, philosophy, mythology. And I wanted to be a mythologist, but unfortunately it's not an option. So, but I continued studied like by myself, reading books, and I studied actually French and English literature in like as a degree. And I went on an exchange program in France, because I knew that there in Toulouse, they have a lot of courses about Greek mythology. So I studied also that there. Yeah.
Well, going to France to study Greek mythology
sounds
that's like totally not a common thing to do.
And totally not related to my degree, but okay.
So you talk about the storytelling itself, but does that mean that then you limit a little bit your mythology storytelling to things that happened in Athens, or it's a little bit more like how do you focus? Because a lot of the Greek mythology stories happens in islands or remote places, or even fantasy places sometimes. So it's just like
I would say that I start telling stories about the creation of the world, the creation of the gods, and the creation of humans. And then I tell some stories about some, I would say I tell stories that I like, that I enjoy telling mostly. But then there are also many stories that happens in Athens, like all the stories about Theseus, you know, the guy that killed the Minotaur, all the story of the contest between Athena and Poseidon, why Athens is called Athens. So yeah, there are also some stories in Athens. Yeah.
Nice. Maybe going a little bit more into like surprising or challenging moments that you faced here. You said that you arrived to Greece just before the pandemic.
Yeah.
How was COVID here?
Oh, interesting question. Yeah. So, at that time, in March 2020, I was just back from India, because I went
to study Greek mythology in India.
To study Indian mythology. I studied yoga in India. I just came back, and they were like, "Okay, guys, we're gonna lock you inside the houses." I'm like, "Okay, fine." What is happening? It was maybe I was a bit lonely, but I had like a program, like I was studying, doing yoga, doing my Italian lessons. So for me, it was fine. And I still managed to see my friends somehow. We
will not say how.
For walks. We were hanging out and doing walks, or they were coming to my house. I was going to their house. We were living close. It was something, because I was alone in a foreign country where I didn't speak the language back then, so I didn't know really what was happening. And it was a bit lonely at times.
Yeah, I was going to ask also, like, how did your family take the whole thing? Because first you leave something, and probably it was surprising for them in the sense of like you had a stable, if we can consider a stable life in Italy, and then suddenly you decide to leave them or the whole thing to go to another country, and when you arrive there they close you lockdown, so you cannot even go to visit your parents, for example.
That's true. Well, my parents, they have very different approach. Like my father is always very scared and preoccupied. My mother is always like very chill, and they always get married, So my father from the beginning was always a bit like skeptical, but then he saw me being very happy here, and so he accepted that eventually. And my mom from the very beginning was like, Chiara, it's like destiny. You always love Greek mythology. It makes sense that you move to Greece and you do something related to that. And so, yeah.
Have you changed a lot in this last 5 years? Like, did you consider that Greece has changed your personality or your way of being?
Yeah, probably. I think I'm more open. Probably I met many different people. My city where I come from, Genova, it's a beautiful city, but it's not really so much, I feel, multicultural. Yeah, maybe there are some like specific nationalities, but not from all over the world. While here in Athens, you can find really people from all over the world. And it's something that for me, it's super interesting. I like to have friends from different nationalities. And this, it helps you also to get new ideas. Like I met you, for example, you do this interesting podcast, you can inspire also people, so I feel inspired by people like you, Mark.
Thanks so much. Free marketing promotion, yeah. You said a couple of times already, like about language barriers at the end.
Yeah.
You speak Greek now, right?
I speak Greek. I would say I'm intermediate, so I can do like easy conversation, about daily life. I can get by, but I couldn't talk about, I don't know, philosophy or politics in Greek. Not yet. I will get there, but not yet.
I mean, I heard you speaking Greek. I mean, it's a bit more than intermediate, I would say, but yeah, sure. How did you learn? Like, did you study with groups or with by your own, or?
I did many different things. So first I took like a group intensive course where I learned like the basic grammar. And then I started to do like a lot of listening, reading and writing by myself. And then I took some speaking classes. And I try as much as I can to speak like in my everyday life. Yeah.
Nice. What would you say that it's the most rewarding part of being here? Like what you consider, okay, this is the best. When you are in the moment of doubt, like what reinforces the decision?
The fact that I feel very free here. It's a strange feeling. I feel I can do many things that I couldn't do like in Italy. I can go out every night, for example. It's not like, okay, something that, but still, there's always something to do. You can always meet different people. You can explore many different hobbies. And the Greece as a country is so beautiful. You have the mountain, you have the sea, you have the ruins. Sometimes I just go home, I take the bus and I see like the Parthenon from the windows and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy that I'm here, I have this feeling like that, yeah.
What you would say it's the opposite? Like, what is the difficult part of living here?
Difficult part. Yeah, sometimes it's a bit the fact that, especially I feel that in order to be truly accepted, you need to learn the language, to speak fluently the language. Yeah, sometimes I feel I don't understand so much like the bureaucracy or like just how things go. It's kind of difficult, I feel, in this country. Sometimes some part of the culture, sometimes I feel maybe there are some misunderstanding with Greek people because it's a different culture. Yeah.
What would you say it's the biggest challenge that you had here so far? Like, I don't know, like you talk about bureaucracy. I think everyone who is an expat in Greece has passed through bureaucracy, but is there any episode that you said, oh fuck, this nearly broke me?
Yeah. So you probably know I bought a house here, and the process was never, and I renovated. The process was never ending, and the people that were doing like the renovation, they didn't speak English, of course, so I had to, with my Greek, try and make understand. And many times I found out that people were expecting me like to have a husband. So like the worker was saying, well, can we please talk to your husband? And like, sorry, I'm not married. You have to deal with me. So this also, it's a bit, that was a challenge. And they were treating me like I was a small kid. Yeah, you have your own idea, but we're going to do whatever we want in your house. So yeah, that was a bit a challenge.
Greek patriarchy.
Yeah. This is something that's actually, I felt here a bit.
I get it. Absolutely. I mean, I'm a man, but I get it. So imagine, and the whole part of like the marriage obsession and this kind of thing is crazy. Like even a lot of times you go to buy things and they treat you, even when I'm here with my partner, but we are not married, they always treat you like you are married. Like it's always like referring you as and it's very, very strict in that sense. It's like, no, it's not my wife. We're just like we are a couple. I don't know. It's funny to see. It's a conception, I suppose. It's part of the culture.
It's part of the culture, definitely.
And
like at my age, you're expected to be married. Like, why you're not married? What's happening?
I think there is also influences of like church, like the Orthodox Church, and other things that are in between that are hardcore in that sense. So maybe the last question before we jump to the next point would be if you ever considered during these 6 years going back to Italy at some point.
Never. Okay. I feel like home here, When I go back to Italy, I cannot wait to be back here.
Does this change of like, because people take some time, for example, to consider a new place home. Not always, but most of the people it takes like a couple of months until you establish and relax. For you, it was like, okay.
For me, it was, like when you fall in love, like it's love at the first sight. For me, it was the same with Athens. Because I've been in many different places that I like. And there are many beautiful cities that maybe I think they are even more beautiful than Athens. But for me, I had this feeling like a love at first sight with the city. Yeah, I love the chaos. I love all the things. Yeah.
Cool. Maybe before we close the whole expat experience and your journey, I would say that if you have any life hack, advice, tip that you would give anyone who wants to move to a new country, or even more specifically to Greece, if you have anything.
Yeah, definitely. One thing is that try not to hang out just with expats, but try to be more immersed in the local culture. Because again, if you don't learn the language, if you don't have for example, here in Greece, Greek friends, you're always going to be like an outsider, and maybe your friends are going to leave because they are expats. So I think it's good to find a way to be like a bit more grounded. And so learn the language, learn the culture, and have like also local friends. Build your own community so that you can feel like home.
Cool. With that say, I would say that before we start with the next section, I will put the middle thingy, like remind to all listeners that the best way to stay tuned with the new episodes, it's by hitting subscribe here in YouTube, but also in your favorite audio platform. And of course, if you want to follow on social media, you can get extra content, and you can even you will see one of the new sections that it's coming. It's Q&A from the audience, so you can send questions to future guests. So follow us also in there, and for even more extra information, you can always check our website, expatexpertspodcast.com. But with that said, let's play a bit. Let's say like this. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is one of the new sections, and I want to, let's say, okay, it's based on mini games a little bit, but it's the whole idea. It's getting a little bit more deeper in both cultures. In your case, in the Italian one and the Greek one, and maybe test ourselves a little bit on how much do we know of the country that we are living in.
Okay.
So
let's see.
The first mini game that I want to propose you today, it's called Lost in Translation.
All right.
And the dynamic of this, it's very easy. So basically, each of us, one by one, will say a saying. I will use the Greek expressions, and you will use Italian expressions.
And we have to guess?
Exactly. And the other person needs to try to understand what does that mean. Not the literal words, because you speak Greek and I speak Italian, so the literal words is easy, but what the real expression means.
All right. Okay, let's give it a go. Okay, so my first one would be, in Italian we say andare a letto con le galline.
Okay, so in English translation, direct translation, it's go to bed with the chickens.
With chickens.
I would go for, I don't know. Oh gosh.
That's hard.
Going to bed at the same time as the kids, maybe?
Yeah, it's similar. Yeah, go to bed early.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know where it comes, the idea of chickens go bed too early? Or?
I think because, they wake up early.
Makes sense.
So they may go to bed early, I think.
All right. Greek one.
Okay, I'm ready.
When they ask you tikanis, which at the end it means this is easy, like what are you doing?
Yeah.
You can respond to that. Kukia esperno.
Kukia esperno. Kukia esperno.
So they would be tikanis Chiara, and you would respond to me kukia esperno.
Kukia esperno. Kukia esperno. Like so and so? No.
Kukia esperno means planting beans.
Okay.
And it's basically a basic way of responding to someone, or being a vague answer of like you don't really want to respond to that person, and they ask you, hey, how are you doing? I'm planting beans.
Okay.
Okay,
that was hard. Let's continue.
Yeah.
Okay, so one, I would say, for example, okay, this one is easy. In bocca al lupo.
I play with advantage with this one because we have the same in Catalan.
You have the same, huh?
Yeah. So it's in the mouth of the wolf.
In the mouth of the wolf.
So it's when you put yourself in a controversial situation, or like entering the mouth of the wolf, like in the sense of like you enter a difficult situation. At least in Catalan.
No.
No? Really? Okay.
No. We say that it's as a wish.
Oh.
Yeah, we say, go to the wolf of the lion. Like when in English you say break your leg.
Yeah.
In Italian we say that. We say go, yeah.
Okay. No, in Catalan and Spanish, when we say entrar en la boca del lobo, it's that you are putting yourself in trouble. Let's say like this, that you're entering a dangerous zone.
It's a wish. For example, you started a new podcast. Okay, say in bocca al lupo, like break a leg.
Okay. So no, I didn't know
No,
the
you
real.
didn't know. Okay.
I translated it to my own mother tongue. Let's say like this. Okay, let's do another one in Greek.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say ehiskopsi ton alektora. Alektora.
I have no clue.
Ehiskopsi, you know what it means?
You cut.
Cat. Ton alektora.
Alektora.
Alektora, it's a rooster.
Still no idea.
And it's actually referring to the fact that the rooster is the one that wakes you up. So if you cut down the rooster or the chicken that is waking up, it's that you fall asleep. You're arriving late to a place because you killed the chicken.
Okay.
It's for the people who fall asleep and arrive late to places.
So many chicken today in the podcast.
Yes, and so many people, so many Greeks who will be criticizing my accent in Greek. And now.
It's fine.
Okay, let's do the last one in Italian and then...
Okay, so we can say, for example, to stay in the theme of the chicken, we say conosco I miei polli.
Conosco I miei polli.
Conosco I miei polli, like I know my chickens.
When you know what are you getting into, like
like when you know like how the situation or how some people are going to react. So you say, I know my chickens.
Okay.
How they're going to do.
So if you do something and then the people
like,
react.
You're like, for example, someone that is always arriving late, you expect them to arrive late. You say, conosco I miei polli.
So Gabriel's reference.
So Gabriel, yeah.
From the first season episode with Gabriel, he's always arriving late. Let's do the last one before we switch of game. Opuakus pola kerasia, krata mikro kalathi.
So when we have a small cherries.
You hear about many cherries?
When you hear about many cherries, you keep small calati, small basket.
Yeah.
When someone, lot of cherries, small basket, because so the basket can be more filled with cherries. I don't know.
They actually use it for when something big seems to be too good to be true, or when people makes big promises, but you should manage your expectations because you know that that person might not be delivering into that.
Okay, interesting.
Cool. Then I would say we jump to the second game.
Perfect.
Which this one you don't need to be that much involved. I mean, you need to take decisions, but
okay,
it doesn't require for guessing other languages,
my brain
which is
good to work so much. Okay.
I call this game "Let's Find the Top," and basically it's a comparisons game, like versus thing. So basically, I would be telling you in a category different items or subjects
to choose,
and then you choose between one or the other.
Okay, perfect. Let's do that.
Knowing that one of your favorite topics in life, I would say that we start with mythology and we try to find the best mythology character or the one that you like the most, at least.
Yes.
Athena or Medusa? Athena or Medusa?
Oh, Medusa, I have to say.
Medusa or Zeus?
Medusa.
Medusa or the Minotaur?
Medusa.
Medusa or Hera?
Medusa.
Medusa or Cyclops?
Oh, the Cyclops.
Cyclops or Poseidon?
Mm, the Cyclops.
Cyclops or Cerberus?
Ooh, Cerberus.
Cerberus or Hades?
Cerberus.
Cerberus or Aphrodite?
That's a tough one. I mean, I like Aphrodite. Um, Aphrodite. Yeah.
Aphrodite or Apollo?
Apollo.
Apollo or Artemis?
Artemis.
Artemis or Ares?
Artemis.
Artemis or Hermes?
Artemis.
Not the brand.
Yeah, not the Artemis.
Artemis or Hephaestus?
Artemis.
Artemis is the winner then.
Yeah, actually, she is one of my favorites. So it makes sense.
Why is it that?
Well, when I was younger, I like her more. Now, because she's the goddess of the hunt and the moon, and she's like a tough cookie. She's like, yeah, she's like a strong, independent woman. Now I have to say that I'm very tired to be a strong, independent woman. I prefer Hestia. She's more like peaceful, like the fireplace, the home. We don't know anything about her, very mysterious, So I like Hestia more.
So Hestia would have won if it wasn't.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, then I would say the second section or topic, let's say like this, it's food.
Ooh, okay.
And I think here we will create a lot of drama between Greeks and Italians.
Okay, yeah.
I think people will kill me, but
me
let's
too.
test Italian versus Greek food.
Ooh, okay. I'm ready.
Moussaka or lasagna?
Lasagna.
Lasagna or pasticcio?
Lasagna.
Lasagna or risotto?
Depende what type of risotto.
A fungi.
Funghi. Okay. Risotto funghi. Yeah.
Risotto funghi, souvlaki.
Souvlaki.
Souvlaki or spaghetti alla carbonara?
Souvlaki.
Souvlaki or tzatziki?
Souvlaki.
Souvlaki or pasta al pesto?
Pasta al pesto.
What? Like a proper Genovese, eh?
Of course, I'm from Genova.
Pasta al pesto or spenacopito?
Pasta al pesto.
Pasta al pesto or calzone?
Pasta al pesto.
Pasta al pesto or fava?
Tough. But I'll stick with pasta al pesto. Yeah.
Pasta al pesto or pizza margherita?
Pasta al pesto.
Pasta al pesto or saganaki?
Pasta al pesto.
Pasta al pesto or mozzarella di bufala?
Oh, mozzarella di bufala.
Mozzarella di bufala or dolmades?
Mozzarella di bufala.
Mozzarella di bufala o arancini?
Mozzarella di bufala.
Mozzarella di bufala or choriatiki, aka Greek salad?
Mozzarella di bufala, for sure.
In Greek salad, no? Mozzarella di bufala or caprese salad?
Well, caprese, it's the
mozzarella.
addition of tomato, so why not? Caprese.
Caprese salad or lucumades?
Caprese salad.
Caprese salad or cannoli?
Caprese.
You stay in the healthy side then?
No, it's
Caprese
because I
salad.
don't have a sweet tooth.
Okay.
I prefer savory. Yeah.
All right. Then caprese salad wins.
Ooh.
Souvlaki was there for some time.
Yeah, souvlaki.
Nearly survived. Okay, the last game that I want to do today, it's called Guess the Gesture.
Interesting.
I want to play this with you specifically because I know that both Greeks and Italian has very strong gestures on things. So the whole idea is that I will show you a gesture how the Greeks does it. And then I would like you, of course, to guess if you know what it is.
Okay.
But on top of that, tell me if there is an equivalent in Italian.
In Italian, I have to think. Yes, I'll see. Yeah.
Let's start easy. When a Greek person does...
It's like, no. Not at all. Yeah.
It's the oshi, yeah?
It's ohi.
Ohi.
Yeah, we do actually similar sometimes in Italy. Depend on the region. In some region they do like that.
Also, like
Yeah.
backwards, and then
Yeah.
the sound that it's very appealing for conversation. When you turn the hand next to your head, with the fingers kind of open,
it's like you're crazy.
In Greek, it's very commonly used for say tea. What are you doing?
Tienois. Yeah, tienois. Yeah.
Do you have a gesture like this in Italy?
Do you mean like?
When you ask.
Yeah, I think this one. Like, what do you mean?
One of the funny parts, like in the road, especially open palm and.
This one I like. You can also do like that, double.
Yes, the double palm is also strong.
Power. Like, nah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, go away, like.
Considering someone stupid or someone is getting in your nerves, so you show the palm to them and then you double palm them even more.
Yeah.
Do you have something like this in Italy?
We have more, it's more vulgar, It's like
middle finger.
The middle finger, or like this one, It's like go there, go
fuck yourself.
Yeah.
When you do this sign, especially in a restaurant,
this sign, it's like can I pay? Yeah, can I pay?
Do you use that in Italy? There is a lot of countries that if you do this, it's like a completely disrespect.
No, it's no, we don't do it. It's a bit, especially in my region, I feel we don't do it. It's a bit disrespectful, yeah. But here everybody does it, yeah.
You already said about this one?
Yeah.
In Greek?
In Greek?
Doing this one?
You do this in Greek?
Mm-hmm. You can do that, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
And it's the translation of omorphos, when something is nice or something it's pretty.
You do like that, like, yeah.
Like the going down.
Yeah.
But in Italy, you can do the low down. And
you
can do the aggressive one.
Or? Yeah, the aggressive is like moving, and this one it's
Nice.
We have more like that. We do like, which means more like it's perfect.
Strings? Okay.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Nice. And the last one, and of course the famous one.
Like Malachias.
How do you say asshole to someone in Italy? In a single gesture.
In a single gesture. Oh my God, do we have that? Well, we do like that, but it's not like it's like wishing someone bad, like go.
Yeah.
This is actually, you will be cheated on, like something like
they
that.
will put you there.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I think it's used here also in Greece. There is people who use that, like especially when someone that they don't want to listen them saying, like if we are two of us talking bullshit, the audience could be doing that to each other, like, oh, this is malakio. But I don't know exactly if it comes from the same background. Cool. I'm just checking time wise, but maybe. Yeah, why not? We can do the last game. I had it as an optional, but we are pretty good on time, so that would be okay.
Perfect.
And for this, they will even kill us more than the previous one, probably.
Great.
So it's a this or that, basically a clash versus cultures. And I will ask you to choose between Greek or Italian version of something. And of course, let's start with Greek or Italian olive oil.
That stuff. I would say, okay, I like the Greek one very, very much. Yeah.
Greek or Italian wine?
Italian.
Oof, this one, they will kill me. Greek or Italian coffee?
Actually, I like Greek coffee because they have more options. I like the freddo espresso. I like, and the coffee culture that you can take away the coffee,
Good. Then they will kill you.
Yeah,
Not me. That's
for
good.
sure. I'm prepared.
Greek or Italian olives when it comes to the olive itself?
To the olives. Well, I like a lot the olives from my region, from Liguria, so I would say Italy.
Greek tavernas or Italian aperitivo?
Italian aperitivo.
Racomelo or limoncello?
No, why you do this to me? That's the toughest decision ever. But I would say racomelo.
Okay.
Sorry, Dad.
Italian gelato or Greek yogurt?
Italian gelato.
Cool. So with that, we close the game section part.
Great.
And as another new section that I introduced in this season, I ask some of the audience and people following, especially today, I ask people who came to listen to the episode recording to send me some questions that they would like to ask you. So I have some questions here. So I would see if I go through all of them or what I can do. There is one from Gabriel, which actually goes pretty much in the direction of the this or that. So I will put it directly here. And it's asking if focaccia genovese or pizza.
Focaccia genovese, because I'm from Genoa. I couldn't say otherwise.
From Emina, what do you fear the most as a person when you don't have a fixed income, especially when living abroad?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. Yeah, that's true, because there are good things and bad things. Okay, I'm very free to work whenever I want, but I fear that, I don't know what's coming next, so I have to be prepared and save money. Yeah, so it's unpredictable, definitely.
It's a matter of saving.
It's a matter of saving, yeah.
Also from Emina, and I think this one is pretty interesting. How does the dating life differ between Greece and Italy?
Okay, I'm sorry for the Greek audience, but dating life in Athens is horrible. I would say maybe because I didn't live in a big city like Milan or, well, Genoa is pretty big. It's like 600,000, nothing like Athens, 4 million. But I would say it's very different here. I find a lot of people have issues. They're like a bit emotionally unavailable. Maybe there is too much options, so people cannot commit. I found this type of problems here.
From Lena,
Oh,
did you have to change something about yourself to gel well with this city, to integrate well in Athens?
Yeah, I have to learn to have dinner at 11 p.m. and go to bed like that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
From Samet, can you describe a typical day in your life in Greece compared to Italy?
Yeah, so here I wake up later, I go and do Pilates, then I do my lessons, then I do if I have any experience, then usually I meet with friends. I wouldn't say every day, but almost every day I see someone. And I go to bed very late. In Italy, it was like gym, work, reading, bed. Yeah, very boring.
Also from Lena, and I think it goes a little bit close to the this or that we did with the Greek mythology, but what Greek mythological character or god do you identify yourself right now most?
Nobody. They are terrible. I'm sorry.
It's kind of true, yeah. You haven't transformed yourself into any animal to have sex with anyone.
Not yet. Okay, Maybe Estia, because we don't know a lot about her, so very mysterious. She could be good, she could be not, but who knows?
Good. Another one from Samet. How does the culinary scene in Greece is compared to Italy?
The
Culinary, like food and
Culinary.
restaurants and
Okay, I would say that in Italy we go for dinner maybe once a month because it's more expensive. The food, it's, you have more proper restaurants, and you go all together. Here, it's very common to go and maybe eat mesedes and drink something. So I feel that here it's more like something that you can do almost every day. Yeah.
makes sense. The last one that we received for today, it's from Michael. In the 5 years that you've been here, you must have had some good friendships and with expats who left Greece. Over the years, does it make harder to invest and commit yourself to making new true friends with expats when there may be literally or certainly the options that at some point they are leaving while you are staying?
Well, Mark, you will be the first.
Oh, okay.
So
I will ask you after January.
You will ask me. Yeah, I honestly, from the very beginning, I made an effort to make friends with like local people more than expat. And just recently, I decided to expand and make friends like a bit from everywhere. So yeah, no, I didn't have that, but I will have it soon. We'll see. But you'll come.
Of course.
You'll come.
I'm not disappearing.
Yeah.
Cool. So that was the last question from the audience. Maybe just before we close the episode, giving you a little bit the space if you have any project or any I don't know, thing that you want to use the platform and
So,
tell the listeners.
Yeah, what I do, as I said, some Greek mythology experience here in Athens, where I meet people and I talk about Greek mythology. It's more like a storytelling experience. And I'm also a teacher. I teach Italian online, as you know, and I'm thinking about doing also like a podcast or like a YouTube channel, combining the two things. So like creating like short stories, like storytelling in Italian for like Italian learners. So that is going to be my project. So stay tuned. Yeah.
Cool. Let's see when the episode goes out, if the YouTube channel is already live, of course.
Follow me on Instagram, where is Chiara?
That's the important one. So for now, everything is centralized in Instagram. So of course, don't forget to follow Chiara on @whereischiara in Instagram and see if at the moment the YouTube channel is already available. Of course, all of these links are always in the description of the episode, so you can check that one. As a wrap up, I would ask you to tell us a little bit of one of the crazy stories or like funny stories that you had during these years living here in Athens.
I don't have so much crazy story. I have one thing that is a bit funny that has to do with like Greek language misunderstanding. So you know that in Greek language we have the polite form, like in Spanish, in Italian, which is, they call it the plititico, like the plural. So when you speak to someone that you don't know, you use the plural, you all. So like, for example, yasu is hello, so to you. Yasas is hello, but formal. So I started to notice that my friends, when they said like thank you, they wouldn't say ευχαριστώ, but they would say ευχαριστούμε. And I was like, cool, that's the formal way to say thank you. So even when I was by myself, I would say ευχαριστούμε πολύ. And the people were like, what? This girl is crazy. Why is she speaking using the plural? Because ευχαριστούμε means we thank you. So it makes sense that my friends, when they were with me, they would say ευχαριστούμε. But to me, to say it by myself didn't have sense at all.
Well, if you have double personality,
Yeah, can be like a
it
queen.
works exactly. It's
Crazy.
my bad side. It's also saying thank you to you guys. Me and my inner demons.
Me, myself, and I. We thank you.
Cool. Well, that's the wrap up for today's episode of Expat Experts. I hope you all enjoyed hearing Chiara's incredible journey from Genova to Athens and the insights that she had also in Greek mythology and all the details that you shared with us. Thank you so much again,
Thank you so
Chiara.
much. I had so much fun.
It was really funny. Again, thank you a lot for being the first guest and trying out this new format. So for everyone who is listening, if you like this new format of episodes, don't forget to subscribe and check out, because there will be more episodes coming out soon. Until then, keep exploring, stay curious, and see you in the next episode.